Watch watch this whole video.
I picked up a man from a Baltimore hotel, a white guy in his early to mid 40s. You could tell he had worked the overnight shift. Tired eyes, the uniform. You could tell it had definitely been a long night. Our destination was like 5, 6 minutes away, what appeared to be a residential address. I welcomed him in the car. He was polite. He said thank you for the ride. He then went on to compliment my hat. He said he hadn't seen one of these in a while. Now, as an Uber driver, you're trying to gauge if somebody is open to conversation. Now, being polite is a green flag, but it's not a green light. And so I ask the best question I think you can ask in an Uber that's light enough and innocent enough, but also can carry a lot of weight. And the question is, how is your day going? Now, if someone doesn't want to talk, it's simple. My day's going fine. Thank you. That ends that conversation right there. Now, if someone wants to talk, that question opens doors. He took a deep breath and he said, have you ever had one of those days? A day from hell. I mean, the day is rough already, and yet it still doesn't match the mental anguish, the mental stress you're going through. Man, I sat with that statement. You know, when they say giving someone space, I think that's what that means. It was heavy, and I feel like there shouldn't have been an immediate response. Like silence was the response, and often that's a response for me. You know, like I feel sometimes people do not need pity. They need understanding, and you just need to sit with what they're telling you, you know. And so after a period passed, you know, I said like, man, just to acknowledge, you know, I heard him. And then, you know, after a moment, I went to say, I'm sorry about what you're going through. And just like that, we got to his address. And so as he was getting out of the car, we really looked at each other. Like we really, really looked at each other. And I said, just hang in there. Just really hang in there. He looked away. He nodded. He looked at me and said, thank you. And he left. And just as I pulled out, it came to me. I wish I told him. It takes a special human being to be going through the kind of mental anguish and stress that he's going through and not take it out on a person who is there to care for him. Because we do that so often in society. We see that with service workers or even families. The people we dump on the people who are there to care and serve us, right? That's a human, doesn't make sense, but that's just the way it is. And for him to be going through all that and to be able to see me and to be polite, you know, like that's a special human being. And just as I'd finished that thought, I had a ding and he tipped me $5. Now, if you drive Uber, you know that's like a minimum ride trip. And for someone to tip $5, that is significant also for what he does. You know, you'll also find like service workers sometimes, often some of the best tippers. But man, thank you, sir. Thank you for your kindness.
That's beautiful. And I think what Ken does there is he expresses everything about Uber and being a rideshare driver and a service worker, way he presents things, story tells. I was right there in the car with him, and I've been there. He's right. It's just like you and I as drivers, and if you're a passenger, we kind of get to see it all. There's this humanity to it, and the way Ken tells the stories. I want to practice. I want to be just like him. And I've watched his TikToks for so many years now. And there was a time when I lost access to my TikTok account. It was like, didn't matter. And so I wasn't able to watch any of his TikToks. And just recently I got back in, and TikTok has been sending me his stuff over and over and over again. And It's probably some of his old stuff, but I'm getting it. I'm just ravishing it. It's so good. There is a thing about the way humans can interact, and what I think is Kenn is expressing, and Kenn, if you see this, correct me if I'm wrong, is that humans inside of a car, it's an intimate setting. And I know there's a lot of Uber drivers and Uber passengers that want to pretend it's like a bus. It's like mass transportation. And the driver's just a robot, or the passenger should just be on their headphones. And they're so close. They're so close. Yet they don't even interact. And that's doesn't mean they have to become best friends and exchange numbers or even have a deep, meaningful conversation. As like what Candy just shared, it was a short ride, but those brief moments, those few words, are what makes us human. And I just think there needs to be more of that in this world, especially as we're getting closer and closer to robotics and AI replacing things. I'll be out of a job soon. Ken, he'll be out of a job soon too. There'll be artificial intelligence cars and robots taking us everywhere. Then there'll be robots at, restaurants, and you won't be able to interact with any of the staff. It'll be like a wall. And we'll all be working remotely on our computers, using artificial intelligence, avatars of ourselves to have meetings with other people. We'll live alone with our pet. We won't have a family. I'm very dystopian about the future because humans don't connect. But I found that there there's a place, and that happens to be inside of my car when I'm Uber driving. And not every ride is like what Ken expressed. Not every ride is this deep, powerful moment. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes it's intense. The passengers maybe vomiting because they've been drinking too much. There's just moments where we just get to be with strangers in that setting, and we can connect. And I'm sad that's potentially going away. And there are people that'll say, well, robo taxis and Waymos, that's all way off in the future. But I think if you're in San Francisco, you kind of see the writing on the wall. And yeah, it's happening. So yeah, I recommend you go out and watch Ken's TikTok channel if you're on TikTok. And Ken, just so honored that I found you. I'm blessed. And I think your TikTok, that story that you shared, embodies every single thing that from the observation that you and I get as drivers, because we know situations really, really well now. We can kind of know what's about to happen. And um the small talk transitioning into something more powerful, the realization, the thing that touched me the most was the realization that you didn't even express what you wanted to say. And I think I've done 13,000 rides, and I feel like I'm never as articulate as I want to be. And when I drive away, I think, oh, I should have said this. I wish I could have said this. And I'm never going to see that person again. And then, it's fun to know that you got a tip. And you're right. Yeah. It's always the low wage service workers that give the tips, the biggest tips, the ones that have meaning to them. And, and then, you know, the times when you don't get a tip, and you realize that's okay too. It's just a surprise, a little moment. So, hey, I created this channel um, to connect with other drivers. I think that this industry, what we do, is really special. It's unique, and it's really important. I think it's easy to dismiss it as a gig. It's easy to dismiss it as you're just driving people around. I don't think it's that. I just don't think it's that. I think we're doing something that is helping our communities. We're getting people to and from places. We're preventing drunk drivers. We're helping people get to destinations, to go see family, to go on vacations that are desperately needed. We are that thing, and we're doing it in our car in an intimate space. And so I think it's just important for us to all connect and cheer for each other. So That's why I created this channel. I want you to make the most amount of money, but I want you to be safe, healthy, and happy. I want you to enjoy the ride, enjoy the gig while it still lasts. I hope you find other people like Ken and share them with me. Go through the comments. Go out and follow Ken on TikTok. And I know you don't do TikTok. Sure you don't. Nobody does. But yeah, go out and find Ken on TikTok. I'll put all the links and everything to his stuff here in the description. And drive your way in 2025. Drive your way while you can, because it's ending. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic. I'm cheering for you. Be well. Bye.